welcome back to my channel. So as you can already tell by the title of this video, today's video is going to be about some things that you can do in order to prepare yourself before you go to boot camp. Do is look up your physical fitness standards depending on your age, because it does vary. So like depending on like how many push-ups you have to do, it just depends on your age. So like for me, I'm 22, so I would have to do like 40 something push-ups. Just keep that in mind, that when you do go to boot camp, the IST is like half of everything. So instead of doing like a PFT, which is like the physical fitness test, you'll do the IST, and that's like half of everything. So that's half of the 3-mile run, which is 1.5 miles, and then you have to do like half of the push-ups that you're supposed to do for the PFT and half of the crunches that you're supposed to do for the PFT. So when I went to boot camp, my 1.5 miles, I think I had to do it below like 14:50, like 14 minutes and 50 seconds. The crunches I had to do like 40 something or something like that, I don't remember exactly. And the push-ups I had to do like 19 or 20, which is not that bad at all. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Look up all of the standards depending on your age and how old you will be in boot camp, because that is how they run the scores, and you definitely don't want to set yourself up for failure. Next thing is do a lot of cardio before heading to boot camp, just because in boot camp you're going to be doing a lot of cardio, and you don't want to be that person like all the way in the back struggling and like dying because the drill instructors are not going to care. And you're gonna have to be running back and forth constantly, like from one side to the other, and then just prepare yourself for that, because it's pretty stressful. And just to add on to that the drill instructors are not going to care if you're like all the way in the back. They're going to care in a way that they're going to be on you. Like they're going to constantly be yelling at you, and you just don't want to be that person that's constantly like the slow one that's getting yelled at all the time, because it's just going to put more stress on you. So one thing to avoid having drill instructors on you is definitely to move fast. Then the next thing is to study. So learn your general orders, because yes, you're gonna learn them in boot camp, but it would be nicer if you already kind of know them. That way it's kind of just like a refresher when you're in boot camp and you're like, all right, my first general order is blah 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 blah. That way it's not that much harder on you. I definitely did not learn my general orders before boot camp. That's why I'm giving you guys this tip, because it just made it a little bit harder. I had to study them at night or like on my free time, because I had to learn them, and it's gonna be on a test and all of that. So you might as well just kind of like have a little studying before you go to boot camp. Tip is familiarize yourself with military terms, because the door is no longer gonna be considered a door. The door's name now is the hatch. So they're gonna yell at you, go to the hatch. What the hell is a hatch? I did not know what that was. Another thing is bathroom. The bathroom is no longer going to be a bathroom, you guys. The bathroom is going to be called the head. Side note on military terms, I am going to be recording another video right after this one. So that's going to be next week's video. Just kind of learning some military terms, because you are going to kind of need to be in the lingo and like kind of just understand what's going on, because it's completely different language, honestly, because you're just going to constantly be talking and saying, oh, this recruit needs to go to the head or whatever. And that's not going to change. I still say head, and I'm almost out of the military. I've kind of been switching it up a little bit and trying to say bathroom, but just 3.5 years of constantly saying head, it's going to stick to you. Okay, ladies, when it comes to your hair, please learn how to do a sock bun or just a military bun before going to boot camp, because they're not really going to teach you too much how to do this. I remember like the first week they taught us like just general how to do like a bun, but if you already kind of have like that knowledge in your head or whatever how to do a bun, you won't have any problems. No one's gonna mess with you about your hair. Also, you can look up the standards. You can look it up on Google. I'll also most likely put in the description box below, because there's many hair regulations when it comes to your hair, just like all the standards and everything that you need to meet, because the Marine Corps is known for being picky over your hair. Also, another thing I know, that when it comes to color, just in boot camp, just have like a natural color. If you are not naturally blonde, do not go to boot camp with blonde hair. If like, just don't do it. Just have like a regular brown, black. If you're naturally blonde, okay, you're naturally blonde, but just remember that you need to look natural you go. You need to look natural and neat at all times. So just practice how to do your hair before going to boot camp, because they're not really going to teach you. Also, if your hair is too short to go into a bun, or if you want yourself just to cut it, that way you don't have to deal with that the whole 3 months, having to constantly every day put your hair in a bun. You can cut it to meet the regulations. That way it's just gonna be really short. You're probably gonna look like a boy, but it'll make it easier for you, then oh well. But yes, definitely look up your hair regulations before you're going to boot camp. That way you can have kind of a sense of what to expect when you do go to boot camp and what you need to do with your hair. I know everybody is super concerned about your menstrual cycle. When you go to boot camp, you will not see your lady for a while. Like, you're not gonna see it. I did not see it at all. The only time I saw it, I'm not even gonna lie, is like the first day or two that I got to boot camp. Like during those 3 days of like receiving, I did have it, and actually a couple of us had it, but that was it. Like after those 3 days, I did not see my period at all. So don't worry about that, you guys. There's like 1% chance that you're going to get it, and if you do get it, you will be able to have like sanitary supplies and everything in order to take care of yourself. But don't worry about it, because you're most likely not gonna have your period, and you're not gonna have to deal with it for like those 3 months, which is obviously just 3 periods. Remember, when you're under stress, your period may come late or it may just not show up. And in boot camp, you're gonna be stressed out every day. So we never even thought about it. No one was like, oh, like I was supposed to get my period this day. No one ever talks about it, because it just doesn't happen. Out of like 60 girls, 1 or 2 may get it, or 81 girl may get it, and it may be you, it may not be you, and most likely will not be you, because the stress is definitely gonna get to everybody, and nobody gets their period in boot camp. So stop asking me, because I feel like so many people have been asking me. I hope that this was able to clear up any type of confusion that you guys may have had about having your period in boot camp. But yeah, just don't worry about it, because you're not going to see your girl for 3+ months. So weight standards, I had a very hard time losing weight before going to boot camp. But my recruiter, we literally were like this. We were constantly working out, because obviously I had to lose like 10 pounds, which it doesn't seem like a lot, but at the time it was a big struggle, because I just wanted to eat and not work out, and I didn't care about my weight. But I did care in a way, because I did want to go to boot camp. So if you are struggling with losing weight, if your max weight is 135 and you're at like 145 or something, even at 133, 134, that's a little bit like, that's cutting it, because when you go to boot camp, they're gonna weigh you in over there as well. So you may weigh 134 at MEPS, but then you go to boot camp and you're at 135, which is your max. It's gonna be a little harder on you depending on what platoon you go to, because they might reduce your rations. They're gonna watch you, they're gonna watch what you eat, and it's just gonna be a little bit more stressful. For me, that's exactly what happened. I was like, my max was like 133 or something like that, and I was like 2 pounds under it, but I was able to lose a lot of weight. I actually ended up weighing 118 when I did graduate boot camp, and I looked like a stick. I'll insert a picture right here. I was super skinny. I did not look healthy, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, if you do want to lose some weight, I actually ended up having to work out with my recruiter constantly. He was there to help me, because I had no other support system to help me lose the weight, because I had to lose like 10 pounds. But if you do need some help, just contact your recruiter. Like, they recruited you for a reason. Hopefully they're not like bad. I'm not gonna swear on my channel, but hopefully they're not bad, and they will assist you on losing weight, because you do want to go to boot camp, and you don't want to be the one to go to boot camp, be overweight, and end up getting dropped because of your weight, and it's like kind of difficult for you to lose weight. Most people do end up losing a lot of weight. When you graduate boot camp, you look like freaking sticks. Like, I just put my picture up here. I looked like a skeleton. I went to boot camp weighing like 134, 135, something like that, maybe a little more, I don't remember. And then I came out weighing 118. So you will lose weight in boot camp, but I would not recommend going to boot camp when you're like over or like almost at your max, just because it's going to be super stressful. We will weigh in. I don't remember how often, but you do weigh in on like Sundays or something. I don't know if it's like every Sunday or however often they do it, because I don't remember, but you will weigh in constantly in boot camp just to see where you're at. I would always get super stressed out going on the scale and looking at it. But after a while, I was like, wow, like I'm really 118. I have not been like this for 2 years or however long it had been. So this next advice, it was like a little different for me because yes, I grew up in a strict home, but my mom would not tell me to call her ma'am, señora, because if I say señora, which is ma'am in Spanish, it would just kind of be disrespectful in a way because it would be like calling her old. So I did not grow up in a household where I had to be like yes ma'am, no sir, etc. But in boot camp you will be talking like that. Actually in MEPS you have to talk to everybody like that, just because I'm not sure if they're trying to get you in the mindset like that's how you're going to be talking for the next 3 months. But just think about that a little bit. You have to be super respectful. You have, yes ma'am. But yes, just practice saying, like, responding to people, saying yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, I ma'am, whatever, because that's how you're going to be talking. You're not going to call them yes staff sergeant, yes gunner sergeant, whatever. You're not going to be referring to their ranks the whole time that you're in boot camp. Maybe the last like week once you do. Actually, when we went to the Crucible, because obviously we're in the Crucible, we only have like a couple days and then we're Marines. Our in my platoon specifically, they had us refer to them as their ranks just so that we could get used to it, because as soon as we became Marines we didn't have to refer to them as ma'am or sir, so we would just be like yes staff sergeant or whatever. So we will call them by their ranks, but the whole 3 months that you're there, do not call them by their ranks, call them ma'am or sir. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you can't swim, you don't know how to swim, do not go to boot camp until you learn how to swim, because there is a swimming test, and if you fail it, you only have a limited amount of times to do it again before you get dropped. So you don't want to be that one, the iron duck, that does not know how to swim and gets dropped and has to do it again, because they're not going to teach you how to swim. So if you don't know how to swim, learn how to swim. Just practice. I don't know how everything is going on right now with COVID and all of that, but like with swimming pools open and whatnot. But yeah, just practice, because they're not going to teach you. And if you go to the swimming test and you drown, you're the iron duck, you don't make it, you're just going to get dropped, and then you're going to have to be in boot camp for longer, and then you definitely don't want to do that. So if you can take like a month or two before going to boot camp to practice how to swim instead of going to boot camp and staying there longer for a month or two, that'll be perfect for you. And the last thing is mainly for you heading to boot camp. Wear a polo shirt. Do not wear anything like this. Like, this is not appropriate. Wear a polo shirt, button shirt, whatever. Not a t-shirt, but like just a button down shirt. Wear jeans. Also wear your jeans can't have holes, and also wear a belt, and wear some comfortable sneakers, because you're going to be walking around, you're constantly going to be running around and everything. So just wear something comfortable, but I guess more like business casual in a way, but with sneakers. They don't really care about your shoes, but wear sneakers just because you want to be comfortable. And that outfit that you wear to boot camp is going to be put into this little like paper bag, and it's going to be stored away, and you're not going to see it the whole time you're in boot camp until you become a Marine and you're like getting all your stuff to leave and all of that. That's when you'll see it. I actually ended up throwing my clothes away just because TMI, but I had my period and it was like all over my pants and all of that nasty stuff, so I ended up just throwing it away. But you will have your clothes in a little brown bag there. Also, ladies, please make sure that you go to boot camp with a bun. It doesn't have to be a sock bun, doesn't have to be too neat, but just have your hair tied up in a bun, not in a ponytail. I had my hair in a ponytail, but my hair was like super short, so all I had to do was like just some little like wrap it up, and that's it. But don't go to boot camp with a ponytail, because they're gonna get on you about that. Just have your bun. Even if your hair is short, just try to do something to it. Cut it if you have to. Like I mentioned earlier, you can cut it in boot camp just to be more comfortable, but if you won't, they might not give you like the best haircut. So if you want a good haircut, look at those hair regulations and cut your hair to the standards, just because you don't want everyone to be on you about your hair. That's like a very, very big thing in boot camp. So that's gonna be it for my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Bye guys.